Welcome back to Colorado and Company. I'm Denise Plant, and now we're going to talk to you about a very serious subject. We want to introduce you to an organization that literally walks through the life with troubled teen boys and young men. From the lowest, darkest valley to the mountaintops of life, John Davis created 2Xtreme Foundation to provide a path of transformation for young men experiencing destructive behavioral and emotional issues. And he's here to tell us more about the 2Xtreme Foundation. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
As a mom of two boys, I appreciate you being here today.
Thank
What
you.
led you to wanting to be a therapist?
You know, I had some amazing men that were in my life. I was an athlete all the way through college and have a great dad, and everybody kept saying it's great that you're a good athlete, but at the end of the day, who do you really want to impact? And so I took that advice into thinking through what type of a footprint do I want to leave when I'm done? What type of a legacy do I want to leave? And so being a therapist gives me the opportunity to be able to connect with people and young men and have a huge impact on what their future is going to look like.
Why did you decide to start a foundation?
The foundation came mostly out of frustration, to be honest, that I was tired of being told no. No, that you can't take a kid out for lunch, you can't rock climb with a kid, you can't travel internationally with kids, you can't do anything that's experiential with them. And so what I found is that unless I made a choice like that, then these guys would not really have a path for a future. So the nonprofit is for two reasons. One is to be able to do all the creative experiential activities with them, to connect with them at a level that is far different than other traditional counseling. But number two is that I didn't want to turn any families away just because of financial costs.
That's very nice of you. If you want to find out more, please go to his website, 2xtreme.info. It's the number 2xtreme.info. You have a lot of programs I'm looking at here, your treat that you provide. Why so many programs?
Great question. So I found out very early in my career that you know, a lot of families, when they came in, they were insularly thinking through singular parenting of just one issue. So they'd come in just wanting to talk about marijuana use, but at the end of the day, they were struggling in school, they were struggling with activities or athletics. And so we found that creating extra programs allowed for us to model to them that if you can be connected through all the different programs, you can find a wide variety of success. So from moms groups to our 2Xtreme Dream program, where we travel international, to having a mentoring program, to doing service projects. We found that the three pillars for 2Xtreme was teaching the guys how to be humble. Number two is serving, and then number three is gratitude. So each of our programs actually mirror what it is that we're trying to have families be much more complete, solid families.
Let's give an example here. I understand there was a young man by the name of Joey. He started the 2Xtreme program. He had a grade point average of 0.8. That's 0.8. And he has a very interesting story. Let's listen.
Freshman year, I was missing all my classes, failing most of them, and it just wasn't good. I was smoking a lot of weed, just ditching school, not listening to anybody, just doing pretty much whatever I wanted to do, not caring what anybody would say. Yeah, probably the second or third time I got arrested. When I was sitting there in my own house with like cops all around me, yeah, that felt real and things got bad. My parents actually brought me to John. I was in and out of counseling throughout most of my life. It was mostly just John being there as a mentor and a friend and just being able to talk through things, and I was able to relate with him and he helped me work through a lot of it. Now I'm not like completely mature, I'm still an idiot sometimes, but I'm more mature than I was and I make better decisions than I did. And I actually have goals and care about myself, and I want to be able to help people like me when I'm older.
Look at that smile, man. You have changed his future.
I have to be honest, it takes a lot of work to get a 0.8 GPA. It's in the front door and out the back door very quickly.
Yeah,
so
very quickly.
Joey actually was awarded 4 different awards this year. You see a picture of 3. One of them was the biggest turnaround for a student at Columbine High School, as well as a Perseverance Award and 2 academic awards. So Joey really has worked hard. He's connected, we got a great relationship,
Good.
And he's an amazing young man.
Explain the strategy that you do to get these young boys back on track.
You know, the key is trying to connect and find some way to interact in a relationship with them. And that's not what you're taught in graduate school. You're taught that the patient is here and the clinician is here, and there's no way to bridge that gap. Otherwise, you have a dual relationship. So for us, being incredibly intentional on how to connect with the youth in a way that draws them out for them to be able to share their story. Because at the end of the day, each of these guys have amazing stories. They just don't have anybody to share it with.
We have another story. It's about Maureen. She thought her son was doing absolutely fine until he was charged with minor possession after showing up to his high school prom drunk. So let's hear Maureen's story.
As a mom, when you see your son going down this path, the emotions that come about is you're a mother, you're supposed to be able to fix this. It's a sense of failure. And I will never forget the day we went in and John drew on a piece of paper and he wrote pot in the middle of the circle. And he put all of Nicholas's concerns and thing around the word pot. And he said, and this is what you're focusing on. And I will tell you, more than once, we were on our knees in tears working with him as he was breaking us down to be better parents and to really understand what we were dealing with. And it went so far beyond just Nicholas's pot use and bringing us together as a family. And there was a time when I didn't even want to see him. When he'd leave the house, I was glad. The tension in the house left. And now when he's not at home, I miss him. And he goes, Mom, I have a future. He's talking about law school. He's talking about his doctorate. He's talking about, you know, at very least his master's. And I think about it and I just want to celebrate him. My prayer at night is thank you, God, for this day. And thank you for John Davis. He saved my family and he saved my son.
Boy, you changed their life.
Thanks.
You also have a book. Talk about Extreme Pursuit quickly. How do I get it, and how can people contact you?
You can get it either through Amazon or you can get it through our website. Our website is www.2xtreme.info, and we're also on Facebook, listed as 2Xtreme Foundation.
Thank you, John, so very much.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate you being on the show. And you can make it possible for teen boys who otherwise couldn't afford it, the opportunity to experience the relationship-based programs of the 2Xtreme Foundation. Go to his website. It's 2xtreme.info. 2xtreme.info. You can set up a one-on-one time or a one-time donation or a regular occurring donation.